We'll take you live to Kabul, where Zabihullah Mujahid, the Taliban spokesperson, is speaking.
وزنی او د مرګ زوب لیکومه پیښه نه لرو دا زموږ د ټولو افغانانو لپاره تر ټولو غلوړ افتخار او لوی د خوښۍ ځای ده ځکه شل کاله موږ په هیواد کې جنگ جګړې او وژنې لیدلې وې ټپي کېدل په شهادت رسېدل د کورنیو غمجنېدل او تکالیف ټول موږ تاسې د سر په سترګو ولیدل او شل کاله متاسفانه دغسې یو حالت سره مخ وو اوس ډېر د خوشحالۍ ځای داسې د تقریبا 10 ورځې کېږي چې زموږ هیواد کې بشپړ امن تامین شوی د کابل په شمول هیڅ ځای کې هم موږ د مرګ او زوبلې او د تلفاتو راپور نه لرو او هیڅ وینه نه ده توی شوې هیڅ ځوان هم تقریبا 10 ورځې کېږي چې زموږ هیواد کې بشپړ امن تامین شوی د کابل په شمول هیڅ ځای کې هم موږ د مرګ او زوبلې او د تلفاتو راپور نه لرو
Facing those circumstances for the last 2 decades, and this time around during the Kabul takeover we didn't let any blood to be spilled.
همداراز د امنیتي پیښو ترڅنګ یو بل د خوښۍ خبره دا ده چې زموږ په هیواد کې الحمدلله جنایي پیښې هم نه لرو
Security situation across Afghanistan is satisfactory.
په هیواد کې موږ د کابل په شمول نن ما د ټولو ولایاتو نه راپورونه ترلاسه کول په هیڅ ځای کې هم هیڅ ډول جنایي پیښه نه لرو غلا نه لرو د خلکو سره کوم زور زیاتی کومه پیښه نه لرو د خلکو په اموالو باندې له کومه خوا تجاوز نه لرو
Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing an important press conference, and he says that the group is thankful for the cooperation of media, first of all, and the crime rate, killings, war had become part of our life. Now in last 10 days, including Kabul, there is no killing at all. Zabihullah Mujahid also said there is no incident of torture or killing occurred in the last few days. Under our watch, there is no crime that was reported to our patrolling teams, and the security situation across Afghanistan remains satisfactory. Zabihullah Mujahid, Taliban's spokesperson, is addressing an important news conference in Afghanistan's capital Kabul. And during his address at the press conference, he said, "We are thankful for the cooperation to media as well." And he went on to say that crime rate, killings, war had become part of the people of Afghanistan's life, and now in the last 10 days since the takeover of Kabul by the Taliban, there has been no killing at all. Zabihullah Mujahid said there is no incident of torture or killing that occurred in the last few days as well. And he said, under our watch, there is no crime that was reported to the patrolling teams of the Taliban, while the security situation across Afghanistan remains satisfactory. Some government institutions, he is saying, have started working. The central bank had also been appointed to look into the economic matters of the war-crippled economy in Afghanistan. Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing an important press conference in Afghanistan's capital Kabul, in which he said that crime rate, the killings and the war had become part of the life of the people of Afghanistan. Now, in the last 10 days, including Kabul, there is no killing at all. And he went on to say that no incident of torture or killing has occurred in the last few days, and nothing of such sort has been reported to the patrolling parties of the Taliban. Law and order situation, he says, is under control. All crimes are vanishing across the country, and some government institutions have started working as well after the takeover, like the head of the central bank in Afghanistan has also been appointed.
و ما خدمات بیشتر صحی در اماکنهای خود داشته باشیم. در بخش تعلیم و تربیت تمام نهادهای تعلیمی
Live visuals coming on your TV screens from Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, where Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing an important press conference. And he says some government institutions have started working in the country. And he said overall security situation and the law and order are satisfactory across the country. He says that Afghanistan faced bloodshed in the last 2 decades, and crime rate, killing and war had become the part of Afghans' lives. Now, in the last 10 days, including Kabul, there is no killing that has been reported. Also, no incident of torture or killing occurred in the last few days. Nothing of such sort has been reported to the patrolling parties of the Taliban. Regarding the opening of the educational institutions in Afghanistan, Zabihullah Mujahid is saying that very soon all the educational institutions across the country will be reopened. While the security situation overall remains to be satisfactory across the country, and some government institutions have also started working with the head of the central bank being appointed, and no crime or torture or killings have been reported in the last many days since the takeover of Kabul.
فعالیت را الحمدلله هر روز بر نسبت روز دیگر بیشتر و خوبتر می سازند و اطمینانشان بیشتر شده که یکی از دستاوردهای بهتر است.
Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing an important press conference in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, the live visuals of which you can see on your TV screens. And during his address, he said that the overall security situation in the war-ravaged Afghanistan is satisfactory. No incidents of torture, killing, or crime have been reported to the patrolling parties of the Taliban, and some government institutions have also started working, and the head of the central bank has also been appointed, while the educational institutions across the country will be reopened very soon.
زموږ انجینران ډاکټر صاحبان پوهان هغه څوک چې دلته تحصیل کړي او دا هیواد دغه استعدادونو ته اړتیا لري.
Zabihullah Mujahid is confirming the educational institutions across Afghanistan have started working once again, and he also said that the various government departments and institutions have started their functioning as well. Likewise, the head of the central bank has also been appointed. The operations of the national television and radio are also functioning properly and to their full capacity. The security situation in Afghanistan remains to be satisfactory, with the government institutions going back to work, as the head of the central bank has also been appointed to see into the economic matters of Afghanistan, while the educational institutions have started working across the country, whereas a national TV and the radio are also functioning at their full capacity.
کار دوام دارد. امارات اسلامی افغانستان به اساس پالیسی خود که دیگر جنگ را در کشور
The political consultations are underway, and in this regard, very soon there would be some announcement regarding the formation of a new setup.
توجه بیشتر به این است که بعضی از حلقاتی که در پنجشیر هنوزم باقی مانده‌اند ملاحظات خود را دارند.
The way that leads to the Kabul airport at the moment is not open for the general public due to the evacuation process of the foreign nationals and their staff and the diplomats, which is underway there. And pretty soon it will be open for the general public after the evacuation process is completed. If any foreigner wants to leave Afghanistan, the Taliban have no issue whatsoever with their own decision, and we will facilitate them for their endeavor.
عرض سی وکړو هغه د نړیوالو سفارتونو او مؤسساتو نه ده.
Despite the evacuation process that is ongoing at the Kabul airport, we urge all the people in Afghanistan to remain in the country, because after a long time, Afghanistan has become livable and the people can live their lives as per their aspirations. Inside the capital city, Kabul, no untoward incident has occurred as of yet, and the security situation likewise across the country remains to be satisfactory. Very soon will open the gateway for tourism in Afghanistan as well. The Taliban want the United States to stop provoking Afghans against the group. And Zabihullah Mujahid is also saying that the Taliban never closed down any embassy in Kabul. The conflict in Panjshir Valley will be resolved through negotiations. Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing an important press conference in Kabul, of which the visuals you can see live at your TV screens now. And during his address, he said some government institutions have started functioning again, and the head of the central bank has also been appointed, while the national television and radio are also functioning at their full capacity. Regarding the educational institutions, he said that the educational institutions have started working back again, and the overall law and order and security situation remains to be satisfactory. No incident of torture, killing has been reported in the last many days, especially since the takeover of Kabul by the Taliban. And he also said that the Taliban never closed down any embassy in Kabul. Regarding the Kabul airport and the evacuation process that is ongoing there, he said the ways leading to the Kabul airport are not open for the general public. As far as the evacuation process is concerned, till that time the ways will not be open for the general public, and as soon as that process is completed, the ways for the general public will be open. And he has also urged the Afghans to not leave Afghanistan, as he said that after a long time, Afghanistan has become a livable country. And he also said that the Taliban want the United States to stop provoking Afghans against the group. And he also says that the crowd which is gathered at the airport can go home. The Taliban guarantee their security as well. Zabihullah Mujahid, Taliban spokesperson, is addressing an important press conference at the moment in Kabul, the live visuals of which you can see on your TV screens.
لایحه عمل طرز العمل جوړیږي چې په څه رقم راسي خپل وظایفو ته تر هغه وخته پورې دوی باید پاتې سي خو یو شی ډاډ ورکړو څوک بلته کېږي نه معاشونه به یې په کور کې ورکول کېږي غیر حاضر هم نه محسوبېږي.
We also show our gratitude towards the international organizations that helped in the evacuation process. While the Taliban urged the Afghan people not to flee the country as Afghanistan has become livable after such a long time, as no incident of torture, killing has been reported to the patrolling parties since the Kabul takeover. Right now you can see Indus Special correspondent Sumaira Khan is asking a question to Zabihullah Mujahid. She had been covering this whole saga unfolding from the ground since the takeover of Kabul by the Taliban.
بله یو سوال چې وسی نو زه به اوس هم کولی ټولو سوالونو ځواب کړم. مننه. د سفارتي لحاظ باندې اسلامي امارت متوجه ده. د سیاسي دفتر استازي راغلي د کابل کې دي او موږ یو پلان جوړ کړی چې ټولو سفارتي استازو سفیرانو سره د بیلابیلو هیوادونو د ډیپلوماتانو سره مجلس ولرو او هغوی ته اطمینان ورکړو هم په سفارتونو کې هم په قونسلګریو کې. دې دپاره کار روان ده. زموږ مشران د هغو ته اطمینان هم ورکړی ده ډاډ هم ورکړی. مخکې ما یادونه وکړه داسې هغوی له هیواده نه دي وتلي او ډاډمن اوسېږي. دا یو ډېره ښه فضا ده. راتلونکي کې غواړو له هغو سره خپلې اړیکې لا هم پیاوړې کړو او د ښځو برخه کې هم دا وایي چې د ښځو د ډېر مسؤلیت دپاره د ښه ډاډ او اطمینان دپاره موږ په کار بوخت یو چې ادارات فعالېږي کار شروع کېږي د هغو دپاره به ځان ته
Afghanistan's capital city of Kabul, and he said that the government institutions, many of them have started functioning again. With the head of the central bank has also been appointed, whereas the security situation across the country remains to be satisfactory and no incident of torture or killing has been reported from anywhere to the patrolling parties of the Taliban. And he also urged the Afghans not to leave Afghanistan, as Afghanistan after a long time has become livable. And he also thanked the international organizations which helped in the evacuation process as well. And he also said that the educational institutions across the country have started working back again, and the national television and radio are also working at their full capacity. Regarding the political consultations, he said they are ongoing, and very soon a new setup will be formed, whereas the US is inviting people to the airport that is causing congestion over there, and he says that the United States should stop provoking Afghans against the group. He said situation at Kabul airport is worsening as the US is continuously persuading Afghans to flee from Afghanistan just to create a frenzy. At the same time, he has thanked the international organizations who have helped the people of Afghanistan, and especially in this evacuation process. Those institutions and the departments and the organizations, the aim of which is to work for the national interests or continuing to work, and they are operational fully. There are certain issues in the Panjshir Valley. However, those issues would be resolved very soon, especially through negotiations. We want to make it clear on the United States that it should review and change its main policies.
Was a side
Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing a press conference in Kabul, the capital city of Afghanistan. In his address, he said that the security situation and overall law and order situation is satisfactory across the country, as no incident of torture and killing has been reported. We want to deliver a message to the people of Panjshir Valley, asking them to leave Panjshir and to come to Kabul.
زما دوه سواله دي. یو خدا چې د امارات اسلامي پر اتاک سره اردوی ملي وپاشل شو، نو پراتلونکي به د اردوی ملي سرنوشت څنګه؟
All the hospitals across the country remain completely open and the patients are taken care of with a full responsibility.
بله دا یادونه باید وکړو چې اردو او امنیت د هیواد مهم بنسټونه دي. موږ کوشش کوو بیرته اردو هغه نه په ښه ډول باندې جوړه کړو. دلته دوه پوښتنې باید موږ سره په پوس او ځواب کړی سي. اول دا چې زموږ مجاهدین هم د دې هیواد خلک دي، د دې هیواد ځواکونه دي. کوم کسان چې نظامي دي زموږ په برخه کې
Taliban will try their utmost, and the kind of peace that has been achieved in the last 10 days since the Kabul takeover, that peace continues to be maintained by the Taliban.
مټې جوړولې سي هغه به بیرته په کار باندې ان شاء الله استخدامېږي. خو دې باندې به راتلونکي نظام سي اعلان سي، هغه به بیا تصمیم په باندې نیسي. او زموږ
Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid addressing a press conference in Kabul, the capital city of Afghanistan. He says the security and the overall law and order situation in the war-ravaged country is satisfactory. No incident of torture and killing has been reported. However, some government institutions have started working back again, with the head of the central bank appointed as well, while the educational institutions have completely across the country have started working as well. And he also said the national television and the radio are also functioning at their full capacity. Regarding the conflict in Panjshir, he was of the view that this issue will be resolved through negotiations very soon, and he urged the people of Panjshir Valley to leave it and come to Kabul. And he also said that he wants to make it clear to the United States that it should stop provoking Afghans against the group. And he also said that the US requires or needs to review and change its major policies.
We
urge the people and the residents of Panjshir Valley that they should leave Panjshir Valley and come to Kabul, as the Taliban don't want war in that valley.
د محاصره قرار نداره. شاید نظامیای ما که در اونجا نزدیک هستن به خاطر امنیت بعضی از دوائر اونجا معذب شدن.
The Taliban spokesperson has also thanked the international organizations that have been working for the national interest of Afghanistan. And he also thanked those organizations which helped in the evacuation process as well. Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid at your TV screens live from Kabul, addressing an important press conference. And he says overall security situation is satisfactory. No incident of torture or killing has been reported in last 10 days, including Kabul. And the patrolling parties of the Taliban have had no such report of any such incident. He said Afghanistan faced bloodshed in the last 2 decades, and the law and order situation now is under control. The banks will also reopen, as some of the government institutions have started working, while the head of the central bank has also been appointed to look into the economic matters of the country. And also the national television and radio are also functioning at full capacity. Regarding hospitals, he said that all hospitals are open across the country, and utmost care is being taken to entertain the patients with full responsibility. Zabihullah Mujahid says the crowd at the airport can go home and the Taliban will guarantee their security. However, the US should stop provoking the Afghans against the group. Regarding the conflict in Panjshir Valley, he said that will be resolved through negotiations, and he urged the people of Panjshir Valley to leave it and come to Kabul, as the group doesn't want to wage a war on the valley.
There was a news item in Washington Post quoting sources that the CIA director has secretly met Mullah Abdul Ghani brother yesterday in Kabul. Can you confirm these reports, and if so, what was the purpose of this meeting? Thank you.
Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing a press conference, and he says the political consultations are also underway. Political consultations are underway, and a very new setup will be set up very soon. Regarding government institutions, he said many of the government institutions have started working back again. With the head of the central bank has also been appointed, and the national television and the radio continue to work at their full capacity, while the hospitals are also entertaining patients and are ensuring their care with the utmost responsibility. That was the latest from Indus News, and we'll be back and resume the news bulletin, but after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We'll take you back live to Kabul, where Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing a press conference. Let's watch live.
یو دا بل ملي بیره خبرم راته لږ سپیناوي وکړه ځکه اوس په دې ودانۍ باندې هم چې موږ راتلو نو بلکې ستاسو شاته هم د اسلامي امارات ستاسو بیرغ شته ملي بیرغ بره په ودانۍ نو اساسي قانون شته د افغانستان
spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing an important press conference. This is the second presser in last many days after the Taliban took over Afghanistan's capital Kabul, and during this presser he has been answering many important questions by the journalists as well, and he has shared a lot of important points with the journalists over there. The topmost being, he said that the security and overall law and order situation in Afghanistan remains to be satisfactory, with no incident of crime or killing that has been reported in the last 10 days, and the situation remains to be normal. He also said no such incidents of any law and order have been reported to the patrolling parties of the Taliban as well. And he also said that there are some government institutions which have started working back again, and the head of the central bank has also been appointed. And regarding the educational institutions, Zabiullah Mujahid said that the institutions have started working again. He said the hospitals are also working normally and at their full capacity, and with the utmost care they are taking the responsibility of entertaining the patients as well. Regarding the national TV and radio, he also said that they are also functioning at their full capacity. He said that the US should review its policies and change them, and the US should stop provoking the Afghans against the Taliban. He said the situation at the Kabul airport worsened as the US continuously persuaded Afghans to flee from Afghanistan just to create frenzy. And he urged upon the people of Afghanistan to not flee the country, as he said that Afghanistan, after such a long time, has become livable.
There are circles, elements that want to cause harm to civilians, including journalists and other people that are close by. That's why we call and urge media outlets to film from a safer distance.
روشن صاحب شما بگید. سلام مجاهد صاحب.
سوال من به نمایندگی از هنرمندا و فیلمسازهای افغانستان است که در حکومت آینده هنرمندای موسیقی، فیلمسازهای سینمای افغانستان و فرنگی‌ها اینا اجازه فعالیت داره یا در حکومت آینده در افغانستان جای داره یا از افغانستان باید مهاجر شود؟ دیگه سوال ندارم.
تشکر. سلامت باشین.
Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid is addressing a press conference in Kabul, the capital city of Afghanistan, and he said the overall security situation and the law and order remains to be satisfactory, with no incident of torture or killing that has been reported to the Taliban patrolling parties. He urged the Afghans not to leave Afghanistan and urged the United States to stop provoking the Afghans against the Taliban. And he also said those people who want to go home, the Taliban will guarantee their security. He thanked the international organizations who have been working for the national interest of Afghanistan, as well as those organizations which have helped in the evacuation process. However, he said that the ways which are leading to the Kabul airport are not open for the general public, and the US should stop provoking the people of Afghanistan against the Taliban, and that is what the US is doing, just to create frenzy at the airport. Regarding the functioning of the government institutions, he said they have started, many of them have started working, and the head of the central bank has also been appointed to look into the economic matters of the country, where the national television and radio are also functioning at their full capacity. The educational institutions have started working once again back at their full capacity across the country, and the hospitals remain vigilant in order to entertain the patients with utmost responsibility and care. Regarding the Panjshir Valley issue, he urged the people and the residents of Panjshir Valley to leave Panjshir Valley and come to Kabul, and he also urged them to leave Panjshir Valley as the Taliban doesn't want to impose war on the residents and the people of Panjshir Valley. And he also said that the issue regarding this valley will be resolved soon, but through negotiations.
دریز په شکل باندې اعلان کړه دا سه موږ چاته اجازه نه ورکوس د افغانستان له خاور نه د بل هیواد امنیت لپاره په ضد باندې فعالیت وکړي. په دې کې که هر تنظیم او هر څوک د افغانستان خاور کې موږ اجازه چاته نه ورکو چې زموږ له خاور نه استفاده وکړي او د پاکستان یا بل هیواد په ضد باندې فعالیت ولري. او له نور هیوادونو نه هم دا غواړو چې اجازه ورنکړي چې څوک د دوی له هیوادونو نه زموږ هیواد ته زیان پېږي. دا به متقابل اړیکې وي او یو له بل نه به تمه وي. په دې مورد موقف اصولي ده. شما
The live visuals of the second presser by the Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid after the takeover of Afghanistan's capital Kabul is right now on your TV screens, and Indus News has been covering this whole saga unfolding since the takeover of Kabul, and Indus News correspondent Sumaira Khan is also there on the ground updating the viewers about the situation and the developments that are unfolding in the war-ravaged country. She is attending this press conference by Zabihullah Mujahid at the moment as well, in which Zabihullah Mujahid has shared very important points regarding what the Taliban are up to after the Kabul takeover. And the first and the foremost important thing that he mentioned was the security and the law and order situation in Afghanistan, which he says has remained satisfactory over the last 10 days, especially after the Kabul takeover by the Taliban, and no incident of torture or killing has been reported as yet.
افغانستان را زیر سیاست‌های خود در بیاره یا استقلال ما را خدشه‌دار بسازه یا به هویت ما ضرر.
Zabihullah Mujahid also said that some government institutions have started working back again, and the head of the central bank has also been appointed, and the national television and radio are also functioning at their full capacity. Regarding the Panjshir Valley issue, he urged the people and the residents of Panjshir Valley to leave the valley and come to Kabul. And he also said that this issue will be resolved without the Taliban imposing war on the valley, as they don't want to do it, and they want this issue to be resolved through negotiations. He urged the United States not to provoke the Afghans against the Taliban, and he urged the Afghan people not to flee from Afghanistan, as Afghanistan has become livable after 2 decades of bloodshed and war, which he said had become the part of the Afghans' lives. And he also thanked the international organizations for helping out in the evacuation process, as well as working in the national interest of Afghanistan.
تمام مهمات و سلاح‌هایی که بوده خارج شد. شما هم از این موضوع خبر دارید؟
اول خب برادرم اگر روز اول و دوم بعضی از اقدامات صورت گرفت ما او را کنترل کردیم. از اون بعد تمام حوزه ها از پلیسی
The Taliban spokesperson says that the group sticks to its promise of a general amnesty, and he also said that no incident of killing or torture or any sort of harassment has been reported after the Taliban took over the capital Kabul 10 days ago.
ما در دریافت آن کوشش میکنیم، مسئولین استخبارات ما تلاش میکنه هیچ چیزی کسی گم نمیشه ان شاء الله. ما را اطمینان میدیم. و دیگر گفتیم که
This is the second presser by the Taliban spokesperson Zabiullah Mujahid after the Kabul takeover by the Taliban. In the first, he made many promises, and some of them were that the Taliban will look after the protection of the women's rights and the press freedom as well. And in today's conference, he thanked the media for the coverage that has been carried out by the media in Afghanistan after the Taliban took over the capital Kabul.
With relation in Turkey, and you know in here some